So I have a pool and I use this K-2006 Taylor test kit, and I bought this a number of years ago, and I just buy chemicals in bulk. And I've generally found that if I keep them out of the sun, that they last past expiration. And I needed some of this R-0870, and I noticed that like I could buy this for like 30 or 35 bucks for a quarter of a pound, or you can buy some tiny amount for like 12 bucks or something. And so I figured I'd try just to, buy it in bulk and store it in different ways to see how long it would last. And it's now 2024, and I got that stuff, when did I pack it? In June of 2020. So it's been almost 4 full years, and this powder has continued to work just fine. And so I packed it a couple different ways. So here I just put this in a mylar bag and just sealed it up. And I did one over here with an oxygen absorber as well. So here's the one with the oxygen absorber. So I'm gonna open them up and see what the powder looks like. I've noticed that when I keep this stuff out, let me see, it starts to turn brown like this. And it actually still does work, but it just doesn't look very good, and it starts to clump together. And so anyway, I'll try this different, I have some pool water. I'm gonna test it and see how it works with these different powders. So first I opened up the pack that was just sealed in mylar bag with no oxygen absorber. And so this is the powder that was inside. And so it's kind of grayish. It's when it first was brand new, it was basically white. And so this has changed in color some. So I'm gonna just put some of this in the water to see if it still works to detect chlorine. So let me go ahead and just pour it in. I'm using the 10 milliliter sample right there. If you put a scoop in, there you go. Right, it turns pink, so it still works. And then I'll try that with the other liquid as well to know how much chlorine there is. And just add some of this liquid right here. And this right here is the original bottle, probably 7 or 8 years old. I've refilled it many times, and I'm just gonna add. My guess is it's maybe 5 parts per million. So that's 4 drops. So that's 0.5 parts per million per drop with the 10 milliliter sample. And we've got 2, I'm gonna do 3, that's 4, that's 8 drops. Okay. I'm gonna need to turn down my chlorinator. 5. It's getting a little lighter here. 6, and practically clear there. So I have about 6 parts per million chlorine in my pool from my chlorine generator, which is a CircuPool RJ60 Plus, which I found to work really, really well. Okay, so this is the pack that had the oxygen absorber in there. So I had this oxygen absorber, I put it in there, and you can see that it is much whiter than the other one. So it doesn't seem to have been discolored, but it is very hard. So like hard as a rock. So I'm gonna have to break that up a little bit before I can use it. Okay, so I broke it up, I smashed it with this knife. I'm just gonna put some of this in there, right here. And there we go, works too. I'm not gonna waste the chemicals to check the chlorine level, but that works. Next, I'm gonna just try that old gross powder right there. All right, here's some of that old gray powder. Put it in, see if it works, and it works too. So it's not quite as dark red as the other. We'll check with the drops, see how much chlorine it detects. Okay, so I'm gonna add the drops here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, start with that. Still there. 7, 8. Down here, a little bit more. Basically the same as the other one. I think there was a little bit less water in this one, but the color didn't seem to really matter. The stuff that had been sitting in here since last season, that was previously in one of these packs, still works, even though it doesn't look very nice. Stuff without the oxygen absorber, with the oxygen absorber, doesn't really seem to matter. So I think bottom line is, if you don't want to pay You buy a tiny little pack. If you buy a big one of these and store it, put it in a mylar bag, then it will last for a long time. So, and I still have more of these. So I bought this 4 years ago, and this right here is gonna last me, I don't know, several years.